Hello, hello. I see Josh. I'm going to make a post really fast and make sure everyone hurries up and can be on. And please message your coaches. If you have coaches that are going to be gone, please remind them that the team call is starting. We are recording. I am going to jump into going to jump into just a few announcements before I turn it over to Josh. Number one being we are still in a Team Cup month. So hopefully you guys, I'm 99% sure most of you are on a Team Cup team. We have 9 days left in the month to really push and lock in Success Club, lock in the rank advancements that you're pushing for, and really just rock this Team Cup month. There are a lot of prizes on the line. I don't know if you're like me, but I am very driven by these prizes, so hopefully you guys are taking advantage of this Team Cup month. Number two, our Entrepreneur Academy. I posted about that in our Luxe Republic team page. We are going to be adding to that group on September 1st. The group starts on September 5th. Make sure you have all of your email submissions in because I will be going through each and every one of them and sending you an invite to the group. And we met today and we discussed that another part of the qualifications for the group were that you're participating in the health bet, okay? We have a team-wide group starting. I went live in the Luxe Republic today about our health bet, the team-wide challenge group that we're gonna be doing. So requirement is that you are participating in that group as well, okay? Because first and foremost, your nutrition and your fitness, that is your main priority right now as a coach, okay? So that is all I have. I am going to turn it over to Josh. He sent me this bio, and I was like, I'm probably going to read it word for word because it's like a great introduction, and I'm super excited. But he's a member of the John Maxwell team, founder of Legacy Leadership, which I'm sure he's going to tell us more about. He's on John Maxwell's team, Presidential Advisory Council. Now, he has worked with a ton of top 10 coaches, a ton of superstar diamond coaches, mentoring them one-on-one, many just Beachbody coaches one-on-one. Does Super Saturdays, does team retreats, regularly speaks for many, many, many team calls. I think I just saw that he was on Brigida's team call. But you guys, I really wanted him on here just to encourage you, and like he said, encourage and inspire and really just challenge you to grow from the inside out, okay? Because we know this business has a lot of ups and downs, and if you're not 100% ready for it up here, it's gonna be a rough ride. So I hope that this just helps a little bit, okay? I will mute myself, and I'll unmute you if you're ready, Jack.
All right, I'm unmuted, so I guess I have the floor now, huh? Thank you so much, Raina. I hope you don't mind. I got my phone set up over here. We're going to let some people have a live look in on Facebook at how cool it is to be a part of Raina's team. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. I appreciate it. I got to meet Raina actually at Summit, which was super cool. Such a sweet person. I actually set her up for a little bit of a trick question. I don't know if she knew it. But we were talking about traveling, and she was telling me how she wanted to go to some different places. And I was like, you are Raina Odell. You can pretty much go wherever you want. All you have to do is call someone up and say, hey, I'm Raina Odell, and I'd like to come speak at your Super Saturday. And I love the reaction she gave me. She just kind of like looked at me like, I would never say that. Like, that's not okay to like just say things like that. And I loved it because like it was kind of like a trick. I was trying to find out like how genuine she was and how authentic she was, because there are some people that kind of think of themselves like that. Like once you get like a certain name that you like become some like celebrity rock star that can just kind of do whatever you want. And her reaction said it all for me. Her reaction, that instant, like bashful, like away, like, no, like I don't just do that. And to me, it was such a cool thing to just see the genuineness of. I love to see a rock star who doesn't know they're a rock star. That's like my favorite thing. In fact, if you go through my Art of Recruiting training, one of the things I say in week 1 is that you have to be as arrogant as a rock star, but as humble as a homeless person. Because there's this balance. There's this balance of having the confidence. I say arrogance just more because it just sounds more fun. But really what I mean is you have to be confident like a rock star. You know, a rock star, they don't think twice before taking a selfie and posting it on the internet. You will never hear a rock star say, well, I don't think my life is that interesting. I don't know what to post about because my life's not any fun. They don't care. Like, just take a picture. Hey, I got my smart water in my left hand. I got Shakeology in my Fender glass mug. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's the confidence of a rock star, is to think that your life is like worth posting about, even though it's really just as lame as everyone else's. But then having that humility of a homeless person. And by what I mean by that is just the willingness to talk to anyone, the willingness to get help from anyone, the willingness to help anyone. You never get to a point where you become so confident that people stop becoming important, because it's all about people, right? So I loved that. It was great to meet you, Raina. And I'm so thankful to be on the call tonight. How many of you have ever heard me on a team call or seen me at a Super Saturday? Anybody? Or maybe been on my webinar where we crashed the internet? One person? Only one. Okay, sweet. So you guys are all brand new. You don't know how bad I suck, so I get to just like go for it and hope that you stay with me. So tonight I want to talk to you about perseverance. As Raina was just saying, you know, perseverance, she didn't use that word, but you know, the entrepreneur roller coaster, as it's been called, it's a crazy ride, guys. I mean, it's a really crazy ride. And in fact, I really, really think that we all have to be more intentional about talking about how much we suck and how horrible we were in the beginning, because a lot of people see successful people and we hear this word overnight success, which, by the way, is the biggest bunch of baloney on the planet. There's no such thing as an overnight success. My favorite saying about success is, I worked my whole life to become an overnight success. And what that means is that there was so much work going on behind the scenes. There was so much backstage stuff that people don't even know about. I'm going to share with you tonight some of my backstage stuff. I actually wrote an ebook called The Mess Before Success to kind of share my story of how bad I sucked before I got to where I am today. And I always tell people, we are all like just literally 6 months away from sucking. I mean, none of us are that special. None of us are that great. Every single one of us that has any kind of success, we all sucked like 6 months ago, you know, and we may look like we got it all together now, but trust me, we don't. None of us do. There's a reason I have a business mentoring a lot of the top Beachbody coaches. It's because none of us have it all together. We all need someone to help keep us at the top of our game. Even the greatest athletes of all time still need coaches, right? Nobody has it all figured out. So I want to talk to you about perseverance, because I know for a fact that probably 80% of the people on this call tonight are battling right now as I speak. I mean, you are just straight up battling. And when I say battling, I mostly mean your mind and your emotions. Because what people don't always understand, and I probably need to write a book on this, because people really need to know this, that when you say, I'm going to start a business, okay, and I'm going to create a better life for my family, and I'm going to help people in the process. You mix all those things together of trying to make a difference in the world, in your family, and do something like starting your own business. And I promise you, the entire world goes to work to try to knock you on your butt to find out, do you really want this? Like, no, do you really want? In fact, I always say, if you really want to get sick or injured, the only thing you have to do is say out loud that you have a new goal. That's all you got to do. Just, if you're ever like, you know what, like, I'm really tired of being so healthy from all this Shakeology, I just want to get sick. All you got to do is say out loud, I have a new goal and this is what it is. I promise you, you're going to be sick next week. It happens all the time. In fact, for me, I seem to get injured. Now, I just started Insanity Max with my wife because I made a deal with her. I hate Sean T. I can't stand the guy. I hate cardio. No offense. No offense if you love Shaun T. I don't hate him as a person, but what I do hate is having to jump as high as I can and touch my knees over and over and over for 30 minutes. No thanks. Like, let me work out with Sagi. I'll lift some weights, but them knee tucks, no. They make me feel like I'm going to throw up, and I hate that. And I told my wife, I promised her, she's been wanting to do the program together. So I promised her when she was recovered, we just had a baby. We had a little girl a few months ago. I told, when you're all recovered, I'll do Insanity Max with you. So I'm thinking it's going to happen the opposite way this time. Since it's a program I really don't want to do, I probably won't get injured, which really sucks because I would actually be okay with getting injured and having a week off from Shaun T. But that's a horrible thing to say, but it's just a joke. So here's the thing. You get on this fitness journey, right? And let's face it, the fitness journey is an emotional roller coaster. Am I right? Am I right or am I right? Somebody give me something, okay? The fitness journey is an emotional roller coaster. And then Raina or someone else reaches out to you and says, you know what? Like, you're awesome at this. You're inspiring. You're helping other people. Why wouldn't you want to make a living doing this? And you're like, oh, that sounds great. I would love to make a living helping people because that would be incredible. So then you sign up, and it turns out the business is just as much of an emotional roller coaster as the fitness journey was. Like, oh, and now here's the thing. Some of you were able to kind of like get down to your goal weight before you ever signed up to be a coach, but most of you didn't. In fact, if you are a true courageous person, I believe you signed up to be a coach before you hit all of your goals because you wanted to make a difference. Am I right? We don't need everyone to be perfect to coach other people. We just need people that want to help people. That's it, right? I say we like I'm not a Beachbody coach. Some people keep trying to add that to my timeline. I'm not a Beachbody coach. Please don't go suggest that I work for Beachbody. I don't, okay? But so then you sign up and now you've got this emotional battle of your health and fitness journey and the emotional battle of being an entrepreneur. And I always tell people the only way we could make this more complicated is to somehow throw in politics and religion. Like if we could just say, here's the deal, we're going to change what you eat every day, and we're going to tell you to wake up early and work out. And we're going to tell you to reach out to people on social media and invite them to join you on your journey. And we're going to tell you which religion to go for and who to vote for. I mean, we could just like really piss off everybody. Wouldn't that be awesome? It'd be like a blast. I mean, not really, but this business is so challenging. And I always say, if you're going to try to make a difference in the world, there's always going to be opposition. It's so challenging because let's face it, you do not build a business by saying, hey, my life has changed. Who wants to join me? And 100 emails show up. Has that happened for anybody? Is that happening? No? Okay. I didn't think so. You know why? Because that's not how a business is built. A business is built by getting out of your comfort zone and doing the things that suck. It's the same way health and fitness is built. Nobody ever lost weight watching Netflix. I mean, you can watch people, like you could even watch like Flash. Flash is, I mean, like my kids watch like Flash. And if you don't know who Flash is, you're not a dork like me. It's a superhero, okay? He's a superhero and he runs really fast. You could watch that all day and night. You don't burn any calories, right? You could watch The Biggest Loser and you don't lose any weight from watching, do you? You only lose weight when you put in the energy and the effort. You make sacrifices. John Maxwell says it this way: you must give up if you want to go up. You never get something better in life without giving up something else. Did you hear that? You can't get something better from wishing, man. I wish you could. I wish you could. We'd all be rich. We'd all be filthy rich and we'd all have Shaun T abs, right? But that's not how it works. You got to be willing to sacrifice something. And what I've found is that everyone wants a successful business. Everyone wants to go diamond, and then everyone wants to go elite, and everyone wants to go superstar or top 10. But very few people are willing to sacrifice. And I like the way Melissa West, who's one of my mentors on the John Maxwell team, she says it like this. She says, it's really not even sacrifice if you think about it. It's more trading up. It's more trading up. In other words, every time you actually make a sacrifice, what you're really doing is just deciding what's more important and what's more valuable. I think if we really took a minute to think about it, if we just really took a minute to think about it, what I'm really asking you to trade up, let's just be real here. I'm really asking you to trade out some time on Netflix, right? Some time on Word Swag, some time on, I don't know, freaking Today Show. Do people still watch that crap? The Today Show? I'm sorry if you do. I apologize. What we're really asking you to give up, because here's what people say. You want to hear what people say? I'll tell you what you say. I just don't have time because my family needs me. My kids, like I feel like a bad mom, or I feel like a bad dad, or I feel like a bad spouse. I think someone might have got unmuted. There's a little noise going on. And what you're trying to make it sound, this is what's funny to me. You guys want to hear something funny? I really like to make people laugh. This is good stuff. Maybe I only make myself laugh. That's okay. I'm really good at making myself laugh. Here's the funny part. Is what you're saying when you say that is that every second you're awake, that you're not at a day job or not cooking, that you sit there and play with your kid. I want to see the parent that has the patience to actually play, even if you work a day job. Let's say you get home from traffic at 6 o'clock at night. Show me the parent that from 6 o'clock at night, and let's say you go to bed by 10 every night, show me the parent that sits down and gives their children 4 undivided hours of their attention a day and then goes to sleep and goes, man, I just feel like an incredible parent. I mean, that was like the greatest time I've ever had, man. That evening was amazing. Like, my kids are just so patient and so understanding and so much fun. I mean, we just played cards all night because they're so much fun to be around, right? Show me the parent that does that, and I'll freaking give you like a golden star or a trophy or something. I love my kids, and I love to spend time with my kids. Last night I took my youngest boy to soccer practice. That was great, man. But you make me do that 4 hours every single day, and I will, like, my whole head, I don't know if I'll have hair left, man. That's why I won't do it, because I really like my hair. I know it's kind of goofy, but I like it. What you're really saying, can I just tell you what you're saying? And this isn't even in my notes. This is all just coming out my butt. I hope it's okay. What you're really saying is I'd rather watch Netflix than give my children a future. Uh-oh, here they come. I go into this mode. I don't know where it comes from, Raina. I'm sorry. I go into this mode where truth bombs just start flying. It's like I can't control it. They just go, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not a mean guy. I promise I'm a nice guy. I promise I am. But what you're saying is, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something other than Netflix. I don't do a whole lot of waste time stuff, so I don't know what all this stuff is. Somebody give me another, I don't even know what are people filling their time with? What are you doing?
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. There we go. Pokemon Go. What you're saying is Pokemon Go, although it is at least burning some calories, is more valuable than your children's future. Scrolling social. Thank you, Megan. Thank you. What you're saying is what 250,000 other people have to say about Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton is more important than your children's future. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't heard anything about either of them that's worth my time. So I'd rather just work my business and make enough money that maybe when John Maxwell decides to run for president, I can write him $100 million check so that he can get elected and we can stop. I don't know. I'm not going to go off on a political tangent, but I'm just done with politics, man. I don't got time to argue about that all night because I'm sorry. I'm in control of my future, not the government. I mean, you can come overthrow the government right now, and I'm still going to find a way to live a life of freedom. Because like Harriet Tubman said, I'd rather die in freedom than live a slave. I'm going to find a way to be free. It doesn't matter. Now, if that means you're going to take me out and I'm going to go be free in heaven, whatever. But what I'm not going to do, can I tell you what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to sit around and waste time and then continue looking my children in the eye saying, we can't afford it. I'm sorry, we can't afford it, buddy. Daddy spent too much time on social media this month. It's just not going to be okay. I mean, I'm sorry that you can't have the birthday party you really want. I really needed to know what everyone on Facebook thought about me. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that you're sharing a room with 3 siblings. Daddy's been really, really busy catching up on Vikings. I mean, have you seen the show? Geez, it's a great show. So I'm really sorry that you're going to have $200,000 of college debt, that you're probably going to go get some sucky job, and you're probably going to repeat my mistakes. But I just really had to find that freaking Pokemon character, whatever the heck it's called. I don't even, Pikachu, is that my kid, my oldest kid, I swear, he loves Pokemon. He doesn't even have the app, but he likes to talk like he does. He just loves Pokemon stuff. None of this is in my notes, but I hope that it's helping someone understand tonight this very simple thing. When you say whatever the heck you say of why you can't be successful, it's crap. It's absolute crap. Every single one of you has the ability and the potential to create the life you want. Did you hear that word that I said in there? There was a very specific key word in there that I need you to get. Every one of you has the ability and the potential to what? To create success. Success is not something you find. It's not something that finds you. It's something you create from the inside. From the inside. I made this statement. Golly, I'm getting old. This would have been 2 years ago when I first started my business, and I had my first live event. And I made this statement that I had not yet proved, which is not a smart thing to do, but that's how much I believed in this statement. And it's proved to be true. I said your outward success is an expression of your inward growth. Let me say that again. Your outward success is an expression of your inward growth. You see, people can change the outside, guys. Someone could show up right now and drive away with my minivan, okay? Someone could show up right now and burn down my house. These things aren't going to happen, but I'm just saying, the outside stuff can always go away. But no one can take away what's on the inside. And I love what John Maxwell said. I was with him in Orlando for the John Maxwell training. We have a whole week with John Maxwell. He said, people always ask me, well, what's going to happen if you lose all your money? Almost like that's a good reason to not try to make money because it can like go away. Some people are stupid and are just looking for reasons to make you feel bad about actually doing what it takes. And he said, that's a really interesting question. I think if all my money disappeared, I'd sit down with a legal pad, write up a game plan, and go make it again. Just go do it again. Like, well, what's the big deal? If someone took away all my money, I would just live your life for a few months until I figured out a way to recreate it. Guys, the outside is always changing. We can't control that. But here's what I control. I can control the inside. I can sit down every morning and read my favorite book, which, by the way, is Intentional Living by John Maxwell. I can sit down and I can learn and I can grow and I can become someone, and no one can take that away. And who I become is actually more valuable than what I get on the way. Because who I become is permanent. What I get, this laptop, I mean, it's cool, but let's face it, there's a new one coming out next year. I'm really going to want that. This iPhone that I'm live on over here, I mean, I love iPhones. I'm an Apple geek, but I can't wait for the new one to come out next month. And that Apple right there is getting handed down to my 11-year-old kid, and I'm going to go get a new one. And this iPhone right here will be absolutely worthless to me at that moment, right? I'll be like, that's old news. I got the 7 now. Apparently it's got 2.5 times the storage and speed and, a bunch of crap that none of us can even keep up with, because the outside's always being outdated. But the inside, it's never being outdated. In fact, it should be always being upgraded, constantly, continuously upgraded. So now that I've given you a bunch of crap that's not even in my notes, let's talk about how to persevere. Was that okay? Was that first 30 minutes that wasn't in the notes? Was that okay? Okay, good. Raina gave me the thumbs up, so I'm solid. Okay, good. So I want to give you 3 tips on how to persevere, okay? After I get a sip of water. There we go. Sorry. Number 1, and those of you watching me on Facebook Live have probably heard me say this 1,000 times. It's one of my favorite things to say. There is no such thing as motivation. Write it down. Please write it down, okay? I can get you all pepped up and fired up and having fun, but if there's no notes, if there's no action, we just wasted our time. We might as well have watched Netflix or played Pokemon Go or whatever the heck else people do these days. There is no such thing as motivation. There is only inspiration. Motivation comes from the outside. Inspiration is living on the inside. Motivation is this: when I feel good, when I look good, when it sounds good, when I don't have anything else to do, when someone comes on the team call and gets me excited, when I can drink enough coffee, then how about this? This is one of my favorite ones. When I'm a diamond coach, when I'm an elite coach. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can reach out to 5 people a day. I mean, maybe when I'm diamond. Oh man, I don't know if I can just post about money. I mean, maybe when I'm a successful coach. You guys hearing me? What is it you're looking for? You're looking for something on the outside to define you or to motivate you or to move you, when you should be looking to the inside. In the inside, I'm telling you, the inside is way more powerful than the outside. Because when I was detailing cars full time, here we go, I'm going into my story. People on Facebook Live are like, here we go, it's Josh's story. He tells it 50 times a week. When I was detailing cars 8 hours a day, sweating everything on my body off because it's 115 degrees in Oklahoma and we have no air conditioning in my detail shop, not at my house, okay? And no paid time off, which means I worked sick, which, by the way, when you work in 115 degree heat detailing people's cars, you actually get sick quite a bit, especially before I discovered Shaco, because literally in between cars, we had this system. I worked on commission, so we had to work as fast as we possibly could. We worked as fast as we possibly could to actually make that money. Phone, would you quit giving me reminders? And so what I would do is we would detail a car as fast as we could, and then I would run inside and take a shot of either coffee or Mountain Dew. Now, this wasn't the good kind of coffee that I like to drink now. This wasn't the good organic grown by with integrity, kind of like this was, I'm talking crap of the crap coffee that had probably been sitting there. We gave it to customers for free. We weren't putting much money into that coffee, and we weren't fixing fresh coffee very often because they didn't give a crap if the detailers had bad coffee. And I'm telling you, in between every car, we did 8 cars a day. And in between every single car, I had a coffee cup full of coffee or Mountain Dew. So we're talking 7 to 8 cups of coffee or Mountain Dew a day, while working in 115-degree heat. Not to mention on Fridays, we'd get big old huge energy drinks and just chug those all day long. Let's go ahead and say I got sick quite a bit, but I had to work through it because I had no paid time off, and at the time I had 3 kids. And the last thing I wanted to do when I got off work was pull out my phone and message a bunch of people to see if they'd be interested and having a free coaching call with me. Yeah, that's how I built my business. Free calls. I wasn't charging for the first call because I just needed people. And so I was messaging people left and right. Hi, my name's Josh Coates. I'm on the John Maxwell team. Would love to give you a free coaching call and see if there's anything I can do to help you grow your business or to reach your goals. People on Facebook Live are blowing up right now. Colleen, yes, that is how we met. I messaged you. People on Facebook Live are like, free calls? Wait, what happened to that? Like, where did that go? Not anymore. I can't do it anymore. But that's how I built my business, was just messaging everyone on the freaking planet. Now, can I go ahead and say this? That it's a whole lot easier to go home and play on WordSwag or Canva or Rona Design. There's no emotional energy pulled away from you trying to choose between turquoise and purple, is there? The emotional battle comes in when you go to message someone and you're scared to death that they're going to think you're spamming them or you're scamming them or that you're just freaking annoying. Am I right? There is an emotional battle that happens, and I love what I heard said one time. Someone said, when you fail to have a plan, you fall into your comfort zone. When you don't have a plan mapped out for what you're going to do with your business, I promise you'll find yourself scrolling your newsfeed and playing on WordSwag. If you don't have WordSwag, by the way, you should get it because it's awesome. Just don't waste your time on it, okay? Pick a font, pick a color, and just go for it. You don't got to spend 45 minutes, okay? All of the fonts are great. Just pick one and just go with it. It's cool. It's cool. No one's buying a challenge pack because you used, one font over another one. It's not how it works. You got to talk to people. But here's the thing. When I would come home exhausted, in fact, Colleen Curtis, who just messaged, that's how we met. I was working a full-time job when I messaged her. I was not waiting till I was successful to offer to help people. I wasn't waiting until I had money. In fact, probably my first 20 clients were making triple or quadruple the money that I was making. I didn't care. I was reaching out to everybody. Why? Not because I was motivated, because I was inspired. I was inspired by the life I wanted to give my family and the change I knew I could make in the world. I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew that there was someone out there who needed what I had to say. And now I have over 600 people a month in training groups. My one-on-ones are totally sold out with a waiting list of over 80. Now, my first year, I signed a total of 2 people. 2 freaking people. Guys, that's like the equivalent of Success Club 4 an entire year. Why did I persevere? Guys, I promise you this, there was no motivation. I promise you there was nothing on the outside saying, man, Josh, you're pretty good at this. You should probably keep going. Everything on the outside was saying, you suck. Give up. Throw in the towel. You wasted all that money spent on joining the John Maxwell team. You wasted hours of your life going through the training, bro. You probably need to go back to detailing cars or playing in rock bands because you suck at this. That's what the outside was saying. But the inside was saying, do you really want to look your children in the eye and tell them you didn't have the guts to go through this and find out if it could work? Do you really want to keep going to the gas pump and checking your bank account before you put $5 of gas in your car? Like, I'm not even kidding right now. I'm talking to put $5 in my car. We had to check the checking account. Anybody ever been there? Do you really want to keep yelling at your wife because she wants to spend $150 on a week's worth of groceries? That sounds crappy. I don't like to say that out loud, but I'm just being honest right now. There were times my wife was like, okay, I'm going to the store. You know, I pulled out $150. And I'd be like, you did what? We don't have 150. I mean, no. You're going to have to find a way to spend less money, babe. She'd be like, oh, so you want to eat spaghetti every single night? I'd be like, she knows I hate spaghetti. Like, I hate spaghetti. I was just like, no, I don't want to eat spaghetti every night. Maybe, but is there something else you could? Surely there's something. And here we are trying to eat healthy, trying to be on a health journey. And we're going to Walmart and then stopping by Aldi on the way home. I don't know if you guys have Aldi where you live, but it's basically a discount grocery store where I don't know where they get that crap from, but for some reason, like, everything's like half price. It makes me wonder where the heck it comes from. Like, is this just stuff that like Walmart couldn't sell? So they're like, here you go, Aldi. We're going to throw you a bone. We're going to give you all of our expired milk. You can mark it down 30 cents so that poor people like Josh can feel better about saving 30 cents on their milk, right? But every 30 cents we say, I would follow my wife around with the calculator on my phone because we knew this is exactly how much we have in our checking account and we can't go over because we've already had 7 overdraft fees this month and we just can't handle another one, right? So why and how did I persevere? Because I was sick and tired of the life I had built, and I was determined to build a new one. And no one else was going to do it for me. No one else was going to write me a big fat check. No one else was going to say, oh, Josh, I heard you started a business. That's real lovely. Let me write you a check. No one else gives a crap about your dream and your future. That's your job. Do you want to keep looking your kids in the eyes and saying, sorry, we can't go to the birthday party this weekend because daddy's too poor to buy your friend a birthday present? This is not fun stuff to say out loud, guys. The only reason I'm willing to share this is because I know some of you are there right now. And if I don't share it, you're not going to get the inspiration you need to get your crap together and go make this happen. Raina can't make this happen for you. You've got to make this happen. So tip number 1 is there's no such thing as motivation. If you're waiting for a magical sunshine to show up and just happen to tap you on the shoulder in a way that makes you feel good, it ain't happening. It does not feel good to do the right thing. It feels good to get the right results. And now I wake up every single day and hang out with awesome people like you. And I get paid to do that. I don't know how I tricked everyone into that, but for some reason people actually pay me to like hang out with awesome people and help them live out their dreams. Somehow I convinced people that that's a thing, and that's what I do. And somehow you can do the same thing. Isn't that all of your dreams? If you're on this call, isn't that your dream? To get paid to help people. They don't teach that crap in school. They don't teach you that. They say, go get a safe job. Go get some, make sure it's got health insurance, make sure it's got a good retirement plan so that 50 years from now, you can enjoy life. Oh, isn't that so exciting? To know that if you work really hard for 50 years, you can go get a nice little retirement home or an RV and travel around and go to Silver Dollar City every summer. Sorry, that was a Midwest joke. That's in Branson, Missouri. I lived there for a few years, so I can kind of make fun of it a little bit. Yeah, sorry. That was horrible. I'll work on that one, guys. Step number 2. or tip number 2. There is no right thing. There is no right thing. I'll explain. For the longest time, I grew up, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in a very religious home. I have nothing against religion. I'm a religious person myself. But I grew up in a home where everything was black or white. It was either right or it was wrong. It was one or the other. It was either God's will or it was like, dude, this is not okay, right? And so because of that, I kind of took that opinion into my adult life and into the decisions and choices I made about my career. And so because of that, every single time I started something, in the back of my head, I was like, is this really the right thing for me? Come on, raise your hand if you relate. Has anyone else ever thought those thoughts? Anybody else? Okay, a few people. Is this really the right thing for me? I mean, maybe it's not the right thing. Maybe I was supposed to do this, or maybe I'm supposed to go back to college, or maybe this, or maybe that, whatever. We have all these doubts in the back of our head that are keeping us 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Can I just tell you guys something? You will never succeed with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I dare you to race someone across the pool with 1 foot in the pool and 1 foot out the pool and see who wins. You or the person in the pool. And so many of you think you're working this thing. And you're constantly frustrated by the people around you that are getting results when you don't. And the truth is, you're not even in the pool. Now, you're working your butt off, because let's face it, if you're trying to get to the other side of the pool with 1 foot in and 1 foot out, you're probably actually working harder than the person that's in the water swimming, right? You're being pulled in 2 different directions. You're actually working twice as hard, but getting none of the results. It's because you're fighting against yourself. And every time you take a step forward, you take a step back. Or like the good old country song says, you take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And you can't figure out why you can't get ahead. And I thought the same thing. And I really struggled my first 6 months when I started my business. And then I read this awesome book by John Maxwell called Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. And it gave me a brand new perspective on life. What it said, the whole book, I could just sum it up by saying this, that what we think in life is that we win or we lose, which causes us to be very, very careful about what we do because we don't want to lose, because then we suck, right? So then we're really, really cautious about the things we're willing to try and the things we're willing to do. But the truth is, anytime you lose, as long as it's an experience that you learn from, you didn't really lose. You were just growing. In fact, the guy who created electricity had to find like 10,000 ways to not create electricity before he actually created electricity, right? How many of you ever learned how to ride a bike? Does everyone ride a bike? How many of you, as a 4-year-old, saw it sitting there in the garage and just hopped on and just rode away? And we're like, oh, that was so easy. That was so easy. Man, a bike? No. What happened? You fell and you fell and you fell and you fell until you didn't fall anymore. See, there is no right or wrong in life. I like to say it this way. There is only what is in front of you. And I believe in a thing called the law of stewardship. And I believe that law goes something like this. If you embrace the thing that you already have, and you take the time and the energy and effort to grow that thing and make it successful, lots more will come your way. But if you ignore and avoid the thing right in front of you, nothing else is even going to come your way. See, so many of us have these opportunities right in front of us that we are completely avoiding because we don't know if it's the right one. But the truth is, there's many opportunities all throughout life. And when you embrace one, it always leads you to another one. And even if it wasn't the right one, guys, I played in bands for like 15 years, thought that was going to be what I would do for the rest of my life. But guess what? When it turned out that that wasn't the direction that was going to help my family and wasn't going to create the future that I wanted, I was still able to take all of those valuable lessons and then apply them to my business. Everything we do in life is simply a learning and growing journey. We're all on a journey. And the truth is, you're never going to know if Beachbody is the right thing for you until you get in the pool and swim in it. In fact, I'd say you got to swim several laps before you know if it's the right thing. And I want to ask you this. 5 years, I want you to think about this, because I swear this right here is why life coaching is so valuable, because no one ever takes the time to think ahead. Think about 5 years from now, what you want your life to look like, where you want to be, what you want to have, what you want your marriage to look like, what you want your kids to have. Think about that right now. I'm talking about what you really want, not what's possible, not what you really, really, really want. Now, let me ask you this. Is what you were doing before Beachbody getting you anywhere close to that? My guess is no, or you wouldn't have even signed up. You were looking for something different. Now, let me ask you this. If you were willing to dive in head first and just go all in, how many of you believe that you could have at least 75% of that dream in 5 years? Raise your hand. Pretty much everybody. And yet, we'll sit around going, is this the right thing? Can I really do this? See, can I tell you why? Because you're not thinking about 5 years from now. You're thinking about 5 minutes from now. You're thinking 5 minutes from now, I'd rather be laying in bed than staying up late doing a power hour, especially if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the East Coast, you're pissed off at how long-winded I am. You're like, dude, get this over with. I'm ready for bed. But I love you East Coasters because you always hang out late with me. Thank you. You're not thinking about 5 years from now. You're thinking about 5 minutes from now. You're thinking about 5 days from now. That's America's biggest problem, guys, is we got a bunch of idiots that don't think about what they want their future to look like. All we think about is what we want right now. And I always say the thing that separates leaders from followers is leaders are willing to stop and think. Where do I really want my life to go? And are the things that I'm doing right now going to actually get me there? Because if not, I need to do some thinking and planning and find some ways to get there. And followers just go, oh, this sucks. I wish something different would happen. I wish I could have something else. Hey, guys, did you hear? There's a coaching opportunity. I'm looking for new people to mentor, and I'd love to help you build a life by design. That's stupid. What? You kidding me right now? You just said you want something better. And then we're so skeptical about what could actually make our life better. And then even when we see the living proof of it in people like Raina, we think, that's just for special people. That's just for people with really awesome hair. Not anyone else. It only works for those people, right? I bet you Raina said the exact same thing her first couple of months in the business. She looked at the top coaches and said, man, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if I could be like them. I just don't know if I have what it takes. You know what I did my first year in the business? I looked at the whole John Maxwell team and said, geez, if only I came from the corporate world like they do. If only I had been CEO of 30 companies like they were. If only I. Now I go to the John Maxwell events and everyone there wants to know, dude, how'd you build a virtual business? I hear you have this thing called residual income where hundreds of people a month sign up for your training groups while you're having coffee with your wife. How'd you do that? And I'm going, thank God I did not have some stupid corporate job where I would be closed-minded about how I would build this business. I don't got no corporate experience. I just had to figure out a way to get on the internet and find people. That was it. And now my business is becoming the business that everyone else wants to have. Not because I'm something special, because I promise you I wasn't. I told you how bad that first year sucked, guys. No one's special. But I was willing to say, I don't care if this is the right thing or not. I'm going to go all in so that 5 years from now, if I still suck, I can look my wife in the eye, I can look my kids in the eye and say, I did everything I knew to do. Apparently I just suck, but I tried. How many of you want to be able to say the same thing to your kids? Stop worrying about what's right or wrong. Get in the pool and swim in it. How many of you know the pool always sucks until you actually get all the way in? I was in Orlando last week, and when you get in the pool, if you try to just go like tippy toe in and kind of go in a little bit at a time, it's really freaking cold. But if you just jump in, you adjust to the water like that. Too many of you are in up to your knees, and that's as far as you're willing to go. And so, yeah, you're freezing cold. Yeah, the water sucks because you got to jump in. And even then, it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen. Success doesn't happen overnight, guys. It doesn't. You know this from your health journey. And yet very few of us remember it when it comes to our business journey. Last tip, and then I'll let you East Coasters go to bed. You need all the support you can get. If you are going to go on an emotional journey, you better have a team of support ready to help you. And you better lean in to that support. When I say lean in, that's kind of a John Maxwell phrase that we like to use. When we say lean in, what we mean is don't just sit back and watch. Get in there and be a part of it. You've got to be a part of the community. There is a family of people right here that want to help you, that have the same dreams, that have the same mindset. Jim Rohn says you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I want you to think about your life for a second. Sorry, my kids, I thought were sneaking in my door. Think about your life for a second. Other than your spouse, who you can't exactly control, are the 5 people you are closest to, are they bringing you up or dragging you down? Are they taking you to a higher place or bringing you to a lower? Because there's no such thing as neutral. The biggest mistake people make in life is to think there's such thing as neutral people. Have you ever gone out with a group of friends? Let's say there's 5 of you, and 4 of you are having a blast. You're laughing, having a good time. They got the music in the background. But one person is over there on their phone, and they got kind of like some tears in their eyes. You can tell they're having like a fight with their spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the heck's going on. Something's going on in their personal life. And everyone's like, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? They say, no, don't worry about me. You guys just have fun. How many of you know it's pretty much impossible to have fun when that one person is sitting there crying and you want to be there for them and you want to help them? You can't get that out of your mind, right? Now, they think that they're neutral. They think that you can have a good time and you should be able to just ignore them and they'll just do their own thing. But the truth is they're dragging everybody down. Am I right? Every person in your life is either pulling you higher or pulling you lower. There is no neutral. Now, am I saying that you should avoid everyone on the planet? No, but I'm asking you to be intentional about who you surround yourself with. And that is one of the main reasons I run training groups. I run training groups to throw you in an environment that sets you up for success. I want you to think about this. I can take a flower seed and I can put it out in my front yard in the dirt. And even if it doesn't get the perfect amount of water or the perfect amount of sunshine, that flower seed can still grow. Would you agree? Now, if I take that same flower seed and I put it on the pavement on my driveway, I can water it and give it sunshine for all of eternity. It will never grow, which tells me that the most important variable in your growth process is what you're planted in. It's the environment that you surround yourself with. So that's why I run training groups, because I know that all of you have an incredible team of support. But what if you had a whole nother avenue of support? What if you had someone like me that was on the outside looking in that would call you out on your crap? You see, the tough thing for Raina is she has to find a way to call you out on your crap without pissing you off, because if she's not careful, you'll just get pissed at her and quit. That is the challenge of leadership. It's a really tough challenge. The beauty of someone on the outside is I can call you on your crap all day and night, and you're not going to get upset at me and quit on me, because we have a different kind of influence. We don't have the law of familiarity working against us. So here's the thing. I would love to have any of you that say, Josh, I need extra accountability, I need extra support, and I need a good kick in the pants. Okay? If you're in that place and you want to take your business to the next level, I promise you, I will give you a kick in the pants. I'll give you the support. I'll give you the accountability. I'm going to give you some tools that are probably tools that Raina has already given you, but I'm going to put you in an atmosphere where you're forced to become more intentional about doing them on a daily basis. If that's anything that you guys would be interested in, you can go to my website. It's joshuacoates.com. Here, I'll type it in here for you because everyone spells my freaking last name wrong. So annoying. There you go. joshuacoates.com. The art of recruiting is the one that I recommend the most, because what I've found is that most people in this business are not moving forward because they just don't have enough people. You want to help people, but either one, you haven't put yourself out there to find them, or number two, you're someone that's been stuck at Emerald or stuck at Diamond for 1,000 years now, because you haven't actually recruited enough people to make up for the old people that fall off. And I always say you can never go to a new level with yesterday's people. That's not to say that everyone in your life goes away. I still have some clients like Brittany, who is my very first one. We're still good friends. I hope we'll work together forever. But most of my early clients are not still with me. Just like most of your early challengers are not still with you, right? Why do we have to hit Success Club every single month? Because we know we need people to make up for all the old people that fall off of HD. For some reason, people can't seem to make that connection when it comes to recruiting, guys. In fact, I really wish we would have a Success Club minimum and a recruiting minimum. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know a single coach in this company that says, Josh, I make 6 figures because of hitting Success Club 5. Success Club 5 is the minimum. And successful people never stop at the minimum. I want to help you do the maximum. I ain't looking to put out any average coaches, guys. I'm looking to help coaches become extraordinary. So if that's something you're interested in, go to the site, sign up. I've got a new group actually starting the first week of September. We've already opened up the groups. My September groups, because I ran a post-summit deal, they're going to come with 4 extra videos. You can read all about the training on the site. And Raina, if you want, we can do some Q&A, not just about my trainings, but other stuff as well. But I'm telling you guys, it's like, I call it a boot camp. Art of recruiting is like a boot camp where I am going to drag you out onto the battlefield and make you do the stuff that you need to do to move your business forward. So I'll shut up about my training. Don't forget, there's no such thing as motivation. If you think there is, you're kidding yourself. There is no right thing. There is the thing you have right now. Make the most of it and surround yourself with successful people if you want to be a successful person. Thank you guys for having me on the call. I appreciate it, Raina. I'll hand it over to you, let you take over. If we want to do some Q&A, that's fine.
Perfect. I posted in there. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. That way it's not like unmute, mute, all that stuff. But I just want to tell you, holy crap, first of all, that was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hands down, probably one of the best team calls we've ever had. And I reached out to Josh, or Josh reached out to me, and we were talking and stuff like that. And we were talking about team call, and he's like, so what do you think your team needs to hear? And I was like, you know what? They really need to hear about perseverance and like to just stick to it and just keep going and fight through the tough things and all that stuff. And listening to you talk, that's what I needed, right? That's exactly what I needed. And I have a page full of notes. And it's like, I thought that's what my team needed, and I'm sure they did, but more so it was, I didn't realize it until now, but that's what I needed to hear. I know how, crazy this business can get and the ups and downs and things like that. And even at the top, right? Yeah. Every level of coach has their ups and downs and different obstacles and things like that. And I think we all I'm just speechless.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I have to say the greatest compliment I could ever get is when I see the husband come over to hang out with you.
I know.
That's how I got on stage at Summit. Was Sagi was listening in while Barbie was having me. Well, it was that Superstar Revive.
Yeah.
Barbie was listening, and Sagi was hanging out in the background. So thank you. What's your husband's name? Brett. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for speaking on the call, man. It was good.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Somebody said, what is the name of your favorite Maxwell book again?
My favorite one's called Intentional Living. Right. Intentional was my word of the year, but it's becoming my life word, guys. I swear you can have everything you've ever dreamed of and a whole lot of things you never even were creative enough to dream of if you'll become intentional. The reason my business is where it's at today is not because I'm talented. It's not because I'm gifted. It's because I've been intentional. I've continually reached out to people that I really want to work with. I'm speaking on 2 team calls today. I don't have to speak on team calls anymore. I had a webinar a few weeks ago with 4,000 people, but I know that the only way to keep expanding is to keep being intentional about finding awesome people like Raina who have awesome teams with new people. Too many people sit around watching life instead of planning and leading their life. And the word intentional is like a whole other presentation. I go all night on the word intentional, man. I freaking love it. No. The word intentional is just saying, I'm going to take the time to think about what I should be doing and make a game plan to do what I should be doing and stop wasting my time and everyone else's time. And most entrepreneurs, I swear, that's their biggest weakness, is not taking the time to map out what you should actually be doing with your time. And we're all guilty of that at the lower levels, higher levels. I mean, shoot, when I quit my job and went full time, I had like 3 months where I was just like, I just goof off and do whatever I want because I live life by design. And it wasn't long before I realized, dude, if you keep doing this, you are not going to keep going to higher levels, bro. You got to chill out. You don't need to sleep in. Yes, it's nice. It's nice to sleep in, but sleeping in is not taking you where you want to go. Get your butt up out of bed, work out, do your reading, and live a life of intentionality. A little soapbox. You're going to find every question I answer. I'll probably go off on a 5-minute tangent. I can't help myself. I do come from a line of preachers, and we are very long-winded people.
That's funny. What phrase or phrases do you not allow yourself to say or think?
Oh, that's good. One of them is I can't. There's no such thing as I can't. I mean, there is no I can't other than working out with Sean T. I give myself a little exception there. Or what phrases do I not allow? Wow, that's a really good question. That makes me actually want to sit down and really be intentional about coming up with a few. This is from a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. He said that his poor dad always said we can't afford it. His rich dad always said, how can we afford it? So something I try to never say is that I can't do something or I can't afford. In fact, the thing that gets me more inspired than anything else is when I tell my wife about something that I'm going to do and she goes, I don't know if you can do that. I get so fired up to prove her wrong. And I think she's got to where now she knows it. She'll kind of do it intentionally. And so I've crushed some pretty amazing goals because my wife said that I couldn't do it. So don't tell me I can't do something, because I'll find a way to do it.
I love that. Anybody else? Any other questions? You've got like the man on the phone right now, and it's just silence.
Not the man, just some goofy dude that likes to talk a lot.
Well, I appreciate it very, very, very much. I can't thank you enough. I, again, had tons of takeaways from it, and
Awesome.
I will be in touch for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So,
And thanks for letting me speak for your team. Thanks to everyone who spent your, Tuesday night, investing in yourself instead of playing Pokemon Go. You're awesome.
Thank you, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Night, guys.